Hello, Michael Walsh with Roger Norgel here. Welcome to Norwal Farm. Today it's really mild. It's in the mid-40s. I took advantage of the warmer weather and did some errands today. Went and picked up some additional grain for the lambs and the ewes. And feeder lambs are due for their booster vaccination, so I went ahead and did that. And then I adjusted some of the groups out here in the big shed behind me. And so anyway, let's get started and we'll catch you up on what we've done. It's Thursday, January 8th. We're actually 8 days from the official due date of the first Jacob behind this white ewe. She's due on the 16th. Some of these are getting decent sized udders. That one's just starting, so she'll probably be into January 1st of February, and she'll be in towards the end of February. That ewe there will probably be one of the first ones. I think she was one that I actually had due on the 6th or the 7th. So if she got bred on the next cycle, that would put her on the 23rd or 24th. We have a 17-day cycle. There's another one right there. And there. Suffolks are due in about 3 weeks. I think she's due in 3 weeks and she's due in 4 weeks. Harder to see their udders, but you can see they've got some developing. That ewe next to them, same way. So we should have probably a busy time between the middle of January and the 1st of February. And then I think it'll slack off a bit, probably about the second week of February to the end of February is when the rest of it will start. The one ewe that scanned open and was pregnancy on the blood test, she's just starting to develop an udder. So I looked up the last possible day when I took the ram out is the very end of February. And I think that's when she'll lamb. So, but they're doing well. Just put some fresh bedding down for them. This warmer weather and humid, it gets pretty wet in here. But everything's good to go. We're just waiting for the babies to arrive. We got the last of the hay delivered last night. There were 3 more bundles of these small bales. That's a whole bundle there. You can see the strap, the black strap there and there. So those bales are actually on end. There's 7 in a row and there's 3 rows. So he brought the last 6, or I'm sorry, the last 3. So that would be 63 bales, and we had 3 prior to that. So that's what, 126 bales. I'm using this basically for the lambs. They do better on this dry hay, and we'll keep them on the dry hay till they get up to about 120 pounds. And then depending on our hay supply, we'll either switch them over to baleage if we've made new baleage by then, or we'll just keep them on this. We got more delivery earlier in the week on the large bales, and that's mainly for the ewes and the rams and does when they're not in heavy production. It's more like a maintenance diet. It tested 18% protein, and I think it was about 45% digestibility, which isn't bad. It's not what you want for animals in production, like meat production, or when they're milking, or last 2 months of their pregnancy when the lambs are doing a lot of growing. This hay feeder was working really well. I put it in the center like that, and they eat it down. There's a base of stems and things that they will eat on, but they prefer obviously the leafy portions. So I give them just enough each morning that will last them 24 hours, and they don't waste it. So this has worked really well. I'm very happy with it. Just waiting for the lambs to arrive, and then we'll get busy again. Beautiful day here. It's supposed to get up in the 40s today. It was 43 yesterday. Looks like it's going to be sunny today, although we're supposed to get some rain tonight. I don't like the rain, but anyway, we got to deal with what Mother Nature gives us. Arriving here at the USDA NRCS office, National Resources Conservation Service, we have a meeting about signing up for the field grant. We've already got our application in, but we just have to review it and resubmit it. We were not awarded a grant this year. That's to help out with fencing on water lines and and reseeding the pastures.
Made a stop at the co-op and picked up 1,000 pounds of grain. This is the mix that we feed to the ewes and the feeder lambs and fat lambs. So I go through about 1,000 pounds every, I don't know, couple weeks probably. Just depends on the number, obviously the number of animals eating. We got both groups of ewes on grain right now. The ones we just bred, we reduced them from a pound a day to a half a pound a day starting today. And they'll stay on grain for another 3-4 weeks, and then we'll stop it on those. We'll get this unloaded. Put that 1,000 pounds in those 6 barrels, and then there was one bag left over here. So that keeps it rodent-proof and bird-proof. Seems to work well. It's been 3 weeks, and these lambs are due for their booster on the CD&T vaccine. They get an additional booster, and then they get another dose 3 weeks later. And then any of them you keep for replacements or whatever, they get an annual booster after that. So I got a bigger pen for them because they're much bigger than they were 3 weeks ago. So we'll get them in there and get them boosted. Lambs don't drive too well. They're feeling much better since you've had their treatment for coccidia. Go on, go. There they go. As I said in the last video, there's always 1 or 2. So I'll use a small panel over here on the other side of the feeder, catch those 2 first and get them, and then we'll do the rest of them. Just like before, we inject them and mark them with a green mark as we go. See that one over there? It's got a green mark on his head, and so does that one. That way, if they happen to get out, we'll know which ones we've done. That worked really well. Took me maybe 10 minutes to do them all. We are feeding them grain twice a day now. They're up to 27 pounds, which is about 1.4 pounds per head per day. And that's a good amount for them at this age. Probably keep them on this, about 1.4, 1.5. Until they get up to about 120 pounds, and we'll boost them up to 2 pounds to finish them on out. But they're eating it really well, and they look so much better than they did a week ago. Very pleased with how they responded to the treatment for coccidia. They end up pretty evenly divided. There's 9 on the end down there, but they're shifting around. Usually ends up 6, 6, and 7. So we got 5, 5, and 9. So I'll just go down here and bring a few of them down here. Come on, somebody go. There we go. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, and 7. So there's 7 there, 6 here, and 6 there. That works out really well. They can all get their fill. I gave them a little more than 5 slabs of hay this morning, because I had 2, I think, left over from yesterday, but I'm just going to put maybe 4 in there, because they've got enough left. They'll eat that down better by morning. So I put 4 more slabs in. You can see them there, right there. This one was kind of left over. And that seems to be about the amount they consume in 12 hours. So we'll leave that. I really like this rain shield. Keeps it dry. So I've got 2 slabs left over here. We'll use those tomorrow morning. But as I said before, I'm really pleased with the way these lambs have turned around. They're looking really good. And on the dry hay, they're much more satisfied. When they were on the wet hay, I'd come down, they'd usually be crying because they'd eaten it all and they were still hungry. So this is working out really well. All the ewes, but 2 came on heat the very first day and were serviced by the rams. And then those 2 back there were the last 2 to come in, and they were serviced the next day. So everything has been covered and it's pretty much out of heat. The 2 rams that were in here, I actually put Cracker in there because I'm not sure the Suffolk is working quite right. So in order to be sure they get bred, these are all going to be market lambs anyway. I put Cracker, the Dorset crossbred, in with them too. All those were covered, so I took them out and put them back out there. They don't need grain, they've got good hay, and that's all they need. In about 15 days, which I think is January the 20th, the first one's got bred on the 5th, because the use cycle is about 17 days, so I'll put Cracker back in with this group right here, and then Lambert is still over there, but I'll change the color on the crayon to blue, and then that way any ewe that comes back in heat, if she gets bred, she'll have a blue mark on her instead of an orange. So that way we'll know. I'm pretty confident. I know they all got serviced, and I've never had a problem that I know of with conception, so I'm hopeful that that works. I did have the goats, kids and wethers over there with the fat lambs, and that wasn't working because the goats always beat up on the sheep. So Joel was out with the llama, and he's actually there. He's actually there at the water, the black billy goat. So I brought Lou, the other Billy, the little one just walked there, the brown and white one. I brought him in and left him with the lambs. And there again, and then I brought Joel in because I want solid fence around the billy goats, because out with the does are 3 doelings that are just going to be a year old and I don't want them bred yet. So I want solid fence to keep the billy goats in. So the fat lambs and the billy goats were in there, and once again, the fat lambs were not getting their share of the grain. So today I brought the fat lambs. There's one there. There's 2 of them there at the corner eating, actually 3 right there. Brought them in with the ewes, and I had cut the ewes back to ½ pound of grain a day. They were on 1 pound a day for flushing, but I'll keep them on ½ pound a day for another 3-4 weeks. But there's one ewe in here that's still down on condition, so I'm going to keep everybody in here on 1 pound of grain a day. It's not going to hurt them. It'll put a little more condition on them. 2 of the fat lambs go to market next Tuesday, so there'll only be 3 fat lambs in here then. So we'll keep those in here until I have to put the ram back in. Then those 3 lambs will go back over with the billies for a few days, and then we'll sort them out and bring them back out. And assuming nobody comes back in season, we'll take all the rams out. So that's what we've been doing here the last couple of days, and it's worked out pretty well, and everybody seems to be settled down and eating well. We finished just in time. The rain has started, just a gentle rain. I'm keeping these doors open this evening. I'll close them later tonight, but this warmer weather, the air gets a little stale in here, a lot of moisture, so we keep that open. I've got a couple of screenshots here. I vaccinated those lambs today. So screenshot, the first one shows the medication that was used. It records the slaughter withdrawal, reason for vaccination, any notes that I have. The note that I had was that it was a second vaccination or a booster. And then the next screen, you click on the animals, and I did them in 2 groups on the app. The one bottle I had 13 doses left, so I did the group of 13 with that bottle, and then that took it out of inventory. And then the new bottle, which was 100 cc's, there were 6 animals that I did out of that, and it shows that we used 12 cc's, so there's 88 cc's left in that bottle. So this is just a really nice app to use. Helps me keep track of treatments that I've done, any animals vaccinated, or any medication treatment that has a slaughter withdrawal. It automatically puts those animals on the withdrawal list for the number of days that they have to stay on there. And if I pull their record up, and let's say I want to sell an animal, I pull it up and it still shows it's in slaughter withdrawal, that's just a safety mechanism so I don't send an animal to slaughter that isn't out of its withdrawal period yet. So I really like this app. It's called Herd Watch or Flock Watch. It originated in Ireland. It's a subscription. All the records are stored in the cloud. So you do have to maintain your subscription. Once you stop, you lose your records. But it's just a really handy application. There's all kinds of management tools with it. It's also got a pasture app where I can draw all the pastures and record the dates that I turn them in, turn them out. fertilize the pasture, mow it, anything like that. So it's really a good application for managing the flock. So that's it for this video. Thanks again for joining us at Norwal Farm, and we will see you next time. We're expecting lambs in about 8 days.